is Hannah.
And I'm Cari.
And welcome back to Psych'd. You know, it's been a full year since I've seen you, Cari, and it's been long. It's been a while.
But it's been a crazy year.
Wild year. But welcome back, everyone. This is the first episode of 2025. Still the first season of Psych'd, so don't get that mistaken. We're still in the first season, but it is the first episode of 2025. How was your break?
It was good. I caught up on a lot of rest.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want to come back.
I was very excited to be back to be able to do more podcasting and stuff like that and school. But
I didn't want to come back to like the adult world.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I liked being at home and like having a pantry of snacks. That was nice. And seeing my family was good.
Everything was free.
Mm-hmm. Everything was free, except my brother took my card and went and bought canes for himself. So, yeah, that was nice. He was like, let's go get canes. I was like, okay. And he's like, can I have your card? Oh, I was like, seriously? You can just buy your canes yourself. But, break was good for me, and I guess for you too. Mm-hmm. Cheyenne, how was your break? Good, Cheyenne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt like 2 weeks. It did.
Sometimes it felt long, and then sometimes it felt really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it was like, I literally just got here.
Yeah. Slight announcement. Psych'd is now an all-female casting right now. What's girl power? What's his title that Pat gave him? The Jason. Yeah, because like all of us have like a title. What was Jason's? Head producer. Head producer Jason is actually in France right now studying abroad. So shout out to Jason in France. But now we have an all-female crew with Cheyenne as our producer now. Mm-hmm. Whoop whoop. We love Cheyenne. But we'll see you later, Jason. So in today's episode, it's kind of just be a little bit more relaxed. Maybe like just random conversation. But the main point of topic that we brought up, oh my gosh, we're a little bit behind schedule. It's fine. We got to talking. We missed each other, so that was good.
Yeah.
So today's episode is about New Year, New You and the fear of missing out, or FOMO. I found out what FOMO meant over the break, and I'm obsessed. Not with FOMO, but with the word. I thought it was a curse word. I thought it was like FML. What's that? Like that's the one that has the curse word.
Yeah, F my life.
Yeah, F my life. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a bad word. And then I actually looked it up what FOMO meant. I was like, oh. So 19 years on this planet, and I finally found out what FOMO meant. So I became a little obsessed with it, and like some theories behind them and how it relates to psychology, and I would love to tell you about them.
Okay.
Lots of social psychology with FOMO. So if you don't know what FOMO means, if you're like me and you did not know what that meant, FOMO is called, it's the acronym for the fear of missing. I feel so old. You didn't know what YOLO meant?
I was like, I want to get a tattoo. My aunt's like, YOLO. I'm like, huh?
That means you only live once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, what does that mean?
I feel like no one genuinely says that anymore, though.
No.
So, like, yeah, if someone said that, I would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sure. Like, get back there. No, so FOMO. Oh, I feel so weird explaining it. But anyway, FOMO is the fear of missing out. And missing out on, like, events or, like, experiences. So, like, you see somebody going to a party or you see, like, somebody going to, like, maybe in a more academic sense, like, going to, like an art gallery or art presentation where they're, like, pieces in the gallery, or, like, a research conference that you didn't get into. Like, that is called FOMO. That's FOMO from my understanding and my research. I wrote a few, like, pieces here, and something that was really interesting when I was researching is FOMO. There's a big difference in FOMO and like two different types of FOMO apparently.
Okay.
Like, no, that sounds stupid. Let me rephrase that. FOMO is not like being left out of things. FOMO is your own like internal fear of missing out and wanting to go do something, even if you don't personally even participate in those activities. Like, it's like wanting to put yourself in situations that other people want and, like, other people are a part of, rather than, like, what yourself is a part of or even wants to be a part of. Can you take a guess on what like the like biggest like I guess spreader of FOMO is? Like why do you think people feel so much FOMO nowadays?
Like social media.
Yeah. Like I'm sure FOMO was a thing before social media. Like I'm sure it was like there were some like level of that, but now FOMO is like on a completely personal level because you see everything everybody does all at once.
Yeah. You're like holding it in your hand.
Yeah, like I could pull up my social media right now and I could see like my friends going out with their friends or my family members hanging out with each other or like I could see somebody going to this like going to like a convention that I wanted to go to or something, or someone going to Disney World because I really want to go to Disney World right now. Like I could see that and feel like an intense, or not, maybe not intense, but a feeling of the fear of missing out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it made me think a lot, and I think more about researching FOMO, and it's such a goofy thing to say, is that it's not, I feel like it's not the fear of missing out. I feel like it's more of the fear of not being like the best version of yourself and like a comparison issue.
Yeah.
Rather than the fear of missing out on an event.
I feel like it's definitely the fear of the fear of someone else being better than you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not like, because if like they weren't to talk about it or post about it, like you probably wouldn't even care.
Right.
But like you see someone that you like under the influence are doing better than you, you're gonna have like a feeling of missing out.
Yeah.
Because you think they're better than you.
Yeah. And you think that you aren't like living up to that standard. Like I see like really young people posting about like, I'm going to France, or I'm not that I have FOMO about Jason. Jason, I think you're doing great. But like going and traveling the world or like going and sitting or speaking to Congress or something. I'm just like, that's so cool. I think I feel like I could do something like that. And I don't think FOMO is the fear of missing out on that stuff. I feel like it's, like I said, the fear of not living up to a comparison that you're feeling rather than that. Yeah. And so that comes into the social psychology thing that I wanted to bring up, which was social comparison theory. Haven't learned a lick about it. I haven't taken social psych yet. Spoiler alert. I have not taken social psych yet.
It's a good class.
Yeah, I have unfortunately was not given the opportunity to take, well, I guess it was given, like the opportunity was here. I just didn't know about it. But I was not blessed with the opportunity to take it with Dr. Daniels. But
I was.
Now you were blessed. I don't know if y'all talked about social comparison theory. Did you talk about that a little bit?
We talked about social comparison a lot.
Okay.
But maybe not the theory. It's not ringing a bell, but definitely social comparison.
Okay. So what I wrote is that social comparison theory was developed by the psychologist Lyon Festinger. Does that ring a bell at all?
No.
Okay. In 1954. And it explains, and I quote, explains how individuals evaluate themselves in relation to others. Social comparison. So according to this, people have an innate drive to assess their own abilities, opinions, and situations by comparing themselves to others, especially in areas where they feel uncertain or lack self-clarity. Source is Google. So,
source, trust me, bro.
Source, trust me. Okay, side tangent. That's what we talked about in Intro to Research Methods today. Dr. Miller, if you're listening, I listened in class. So we were talking about how can you know that we know? And that sent me into an existential spiral for a quick second. Yes.
How do we know what we know?
I know. And he's like, how do you know what we know? Like, how do you know, like, what color this is? How do you know, like, how that your name is actually that name? Like, how do you know that that's actually what that means? Like, and I'm like sitting here like, oh
Psychology.
my gosh, wow. I'm like having a little bit of existentialism. Like, how do we know anything? And of course, Dr. Miller goes like, we use reason and like using a little bit of logic and just like assuming it's correct. And I'm like, but our assumptions, what if they're wrong? I'm sitting there just like, oh my God. And like, I don't think any of my other classmates were like thinking this. I think they were just like first day of class, cool. But I'm like, maybe they were, and maybe we were all internalizing this and just all freaking out a little bit on the inside. But that freaks me out. Like, we might not know.
Yeah.
Wild. Social comparison. So there's two different types of social comparison. There's upward and downward.
Okay.
Do you think you can guess what upward and downward means?
Yes. I assume social comparison upward is where you think of yourself a lot higher, or you compare yourself to someone that may be lower than you.
Okay, so
The opposite.
that's what I thought too. It's the opposite.
Okay.
So upward is comparing yourself upward, so you're looking up towards somebody else.
Okay.
Downward is when you're looking down at other people. Which I would have thought, like, I feel like that's wrong, but it says it's right, and I've looked it up everywhere, and everywhere says it's right, but I feel like personally it's wrong. So, psychologists, what did I just say? Psychologists, we should change that because I don't know.
It confuses us.
It's confusing. I feel like upward social comparison, you compare yourself higher than you should. Ooh, maybe that's why it is upward and downward, because it's not like assuming what the person is.
The reason I thought that it was like upward is because you think of yourself as being upward.
Yeah.
So like you're up here and someone's down here.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I thought that, but you need to change that.
You need to change that or make it a little bit more clarifying. But yeah, so upward social comparison is when you compare yourself to somebody who you think is better off than you. They might not be at all. And like it's like the quote saying like the grass is always greener on the other side. It's like you think they're better off than you, and like they might be winning all these awards, publishing books, directing movies, like whatever. They might be doing something that your heart desires, but they might not be as better off as you think they are.
Mm-hmm. They could be looking at you.
Yeah, they could be looking at you and saying like, "I wish I had that," and that's that instant, like that's the continuous, infinite loop of social comparison.
Yes, I feel like for our age, it's you have someone that either maybe didn't go to college, stopped at high school, which totally fine, and they're married and have kids. And then on the other side, you have people that went to college and they're going to be further in education and they're not going to get married or have children, so way on down the line. Right. So you're looking at them, you're like, oh, they're already married. They're happy, they have kids. And they're looking at you and they're like, oh, they're happy. They have a lot of education. They have a really good job. So it's, yeah, like you said, just an endless loop.
Well, it's a lot of comparison. Like, I even find myself, like, sometimes I'll see posts from people from high school and I'm just like dang, like, and they might not be like, they might not think themselves as better off, or like socially they might not be as better off, or like societally or whatever. Like, I think that's for each person to decide their own levels of success, but like I might perceive them as more successful than me or even less successful than me, and it gives me that boost, and that's an awful thing to do because we're all on our own path, we're all on our own little like track. So compare yourself to the person you want to be rather than compare yourself to the people around you.
Yeah, I feel like I removed a lot of people I went to high school with from social media because I feel awful about my life.
Yeah.
Unless like I was actually friends with them, but like if I was not friends with them, I was like, I don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
I don't need to look at it. It's not good for my mental health.
I did that. It was after a conversation, I'll say, with my boyfriend where I was like, I think I was like just crapping on one girl I knew from high school. And like we didn't get along at all. Like, so she probably has done the same thing to me, and we are very mutually understanding of that with each other. Right. And he was like, why don't you just unfollow everyone you don't like? And of course I was like, don't tell me what to do. But I was like, oh wait, that's actually like a good idea.
Yes.
And so I just unfollowed a bunch of people from high school that I just don't talk to, or that I don't really want to see anymore, because I don't need that comparison in my life, and I need to start thinking healthily about my life. Not because their life is better off than mine or their life is worse off than mine in any inherent way, but the fact that I needed to be able to mature and learn how to regulate my own comparison to being like, these are the goals I've set for myself rather than this is who I want to be. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. So.
The same thing happened with me and one of my best friends. Like there was a girl I went to high school with, and we did not get along for a different episode. We did not get along, and we did not end on good terms, but we were best friends for a long time. And then like something shifted, and we're not good. We're not cool with each other. And I was saying something about her, something that she did that I did not agree with.
Right.
And I was talking shit, rightfully so. And my friend was like, just unadd her. And I was like, no, you unadd her. I was like, why? But I was like, why do I?
Yeah.
Like, I want to think of myself as this better person, and here I am actively looking for stuff to talk about.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like whenever you hit that level of maturity, you look back and you're like, why was I like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm way past that now.
Mm-hmm.
It was last month.
I'm
kidding. I'm kidding.
I was about to say, I usually will look back on my choices and like what I've said, and I'm just like, oh, Hannah, you were just so dramatic. And my boyfriend will be like, that was literally a week ago. And I'm like, okay, I can still look back and be mature a week later. But like, no, I get that. And I'm proud of myself for like doing that like social media cleansing. I think that was good for me.
Me
I might
too.
do a second wave of that one just because like there are some irrelevant people in my life or people that just I don't feel add to my life.
Yeah.
And like, but then a part of me like it's kind of like a weird feeling. That was such a weird way to say that. I feel bad because it should be my own personal issues that I'm dealing with. I don't feel like I should like not take that like unfollowing somebody on social media is not taking anything out on them, but it's like kind of pushing the blame on them, and that's not at all what it is.
Yeah.
It's not pushing blame on somebody else. It's removing from a situation to better set yourself up to have that maturity and that growing up. Like, and I feel like I've like grappled with that and have been like, oh, well, I just don't want to like remove somebody because like I don't want them to be mad, or I don't want it to seem like I hate them. And it's not that at all. It's just the fact of I have to do what's best for me to be able to mature and to like grow up, because everybody has to at one point. And if this is the best way for me to mature and grow up, then, you know, I'm not going to apologize for it, because I'm maturing and I'm growing the best I can. And social comparison is a pain, is a thief of joy. Comparison is a thief of joy. Like it sucks because I want to be proud of who that touched my cheek. I got freaked out a little bit. I was like, what just touched me? Like, I want to be happy for all my accomplishments, and like, I can't talk too much about it. Like I talked about it in private, but I did get nominated for a few things and like a few positions. Thank you. But I feel weird about it. Like I look at other students that are here or that are out in like the United States, especially psychology students or like students of my caliber. And I'm just like, I don't know why I got nominated for this when I know like who was passed in this like position. And I'm just like, so like I compare myself so badly to other people. Imposter. Yes, that is what it is. It's like, I don't feel that I deserve it. Like even when I got on a research team, even when I was elected co-vice president of the honors program here, like I felt so like, and it feels weird saying that because it seems like a braggy thing, and it's not. Like it's like it's not a braggy thing to talk about. Like I feel so like I don't feel like I fit right in this position. Like I don't feel like I've earned it. It's like a genuine feeling, and I hate it. It's like it's this weird feeling. I don't know how to describe it, and I always get it. I always get that feeling, and then I try and compare myself to other people about why I shouldn't be in this position, and it's a thief of my progress and my joy, and that's not it's not fair to me. Like, and that's not fair to anybody to be compared. And like, what's it? I don't know what I don't know what it's called. It popped up whenever I was looking up social comparison theory, but it was something about how people will start to resent the people they compare themselves to when their life, even if they were comparing themselves when life was going great, when their life they feel is starting to slip out of their hands, they'll blame the person that they were comparing themselves to, even if that person isn't even in their circle.
Isn't it confirmation bias? That's where you search, you'll like look for a reason to blame them. That's what confirmation bias is.
I think so.
You
That
look for
sounds
something
right.
to back up your theory.
Yeah.
You're like, this person ruined my life because of this, this, and this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds
that's
right.
confirmation bias.
I don't know if like that's the exact name, but that sounds very similar to what is like proposed, basically. Yeah, no, confirmation. Social psychology sometimes hurts. It really does.
Yeah, and then like on the social media thing, I have just come to realize that I did a huge sweep whenever I graduated high school, because I didn't have a lot of friends in high school because apparently I was weird or something, but I wasn't like you know, I wasn't rich.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't like, there was just like this one group of people that would like date each other, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like every high school has that one group, and I tried my entire high school career to be friends with them, and I was friends with them. And then finally around COVID, I was like, why?
Yeah, but why?
Yeah, I was like, I'm comparing myself to these people, but I'm not those people. Like, I'm not even the same social caliber as them. So, like, why am I trying my best to fit in with these people whenever it's not serving me?
Right.
So, after I graduated, I was like, if I was not friends with them, then I don't have to have them on social media because it's my social media. So, I unfollowed a lot of people. And then I did another sweep like a year later. And, sorry, got sidetracked. About a year later, and I would just go and look at people who, like, influencers I didn't agree with. Andrew Tate was a big one. Anybody I followed that followed him, hit the unfollow button, and I was done with that. I did it a couple times, and I was like, I don't want to see something on my timeline because it's my timeline.
Right.
So I don't want to see you reposting something that I don't agree with because it's my social media.
Right. You can decide what is on your social media or what isn't on your social media because it's yours and it's your like development and progress. And like I don't think I've ever done that where I've like purged from if I don't agree with like an influencer, like I unfollow. Because weirdly enough, I think I just want to know like what's going on about them. How can I like dislike this person more? And I don't know if that's FOMO. Like I don't know if like wanting to still follow them is rooted in like a fear of like missing out on, I can get more like
Something big is going to happen whenever I don't follow them, and I'm not going to find out about it because I don't follow them.
And I'm going to either find it out from a meme and I'm not going to understand it properly and then I'm going to look like a dingling, or I'm going to hear it secondhand, or I'm never going to hear about it. And that drives me crazy. And like I always like knowing. But, like, I don't know if I can say this. Actually, I can say it because I don't think he will ever watch this video. I strongly do not like Mr. Beast. Can I say that?
Okay, here's my thing. Me either. Mr. Beast, if you're watching this.
If you're watching this, we're very displeased with you.
I'm a huge fan, by the way, if you're watching this.
What?
Huh?
Oh, yeah, because TikTok's getting banned.
Yes. Please, please, please.
They just extended it 270 days. They're still like
270 days? Oh, it's
Thank
not.
God. Thank God. I downloaded Red Note last night.
Mandarin.
I switched it to English.
You finally got. I heard people cannot.
I got mine to English. I mean, and people, like, Americans were in the comments acting up. I was like, we're going to get banned from this too. Okay, anyways. They don't. Yeah, like, there was, like, a thirst trap of someone. And if you don't know, Red Note is the Chinese version of TikTok. Because Chinese has a lot of censorship and stuff like that. So they have different TikTok than us.
Right.
And Americans were in those comments. So I was like, this is embarrassing. And there was like a thirst trap someone posted. And the comments and the memes and the pictures, I was like, this is why they're taking this app away from us.
These are very lewd.
Yes. Yes. But
I'm all for freedom, but maybe a little too much is not good enough.
Mr. Beast. Here's my take on him. Am I going to watch the Mr. Beast game show? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to watch it. Yeah. If it comes up my YouTube, I'm going to put it on. Do I like him? No. Do I like what he stands for? No. If I saw him in the street and he offered me $1 million, would I be his biggest fan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I would.
Yeah.
He has a new fan that day.
Yeah. He gained one extra one. For $1 million. For $2 million, you would gain 2 new fans, Mr. Beast. So take that. That's our deal. Deal or no deal. Take it or leave it.
Not a fan, but if there's money involved.
Right.
I will be.
But, like, that's the thing. Is, like, I want to, like, know, like, what's the new reason why we don't like Mr. Beast? Or, like, why is the new reason we don't like this person? And I don't, like, it's so weird. I don't like that about myself because it's, like, it is a multi-billion dollar like brand that this man owns. He will never know who I am. Probably not. Hopefully, I mean, if you want to give me $1 million, I'm not going to say hopefully, but like, I should not care as much about a man I have never had a conversation about, or not with, on about. I've definitely had conversations about. I mean, with. I've never had a conversation with. He probably doesn't even know. He probably doesn't even know where this college is. Mm-mm. Like we have no correlation at all. So why do I have so much causation right now?
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge thing on social media. Maybe Twitter the most. Is that
I don't have Twitter.
I don't either. I deleted it.
Okay.
X. I deleted it just because it's so negative and nasty. It's so nasty. Oh my gosh. There would be like a wholesome video, and I'm like, let me go read the comments. Bad idea. Someone getting unalived. In the comments, I was like, why is no one monetizing this? Not monetizing this. Censoring this. Wrong word. Anyways, on social media, someone will obviously have a lot of fame, have a lot of money, people will love them, and people on social media will look for any reason to tear that person down. Like, obviously, I don't know these people personally, but like the Ariana Grande and like Ethan Slater, huge thing that happened. All of a sudden, everybody was like, who else never liked her?
Yeah. It's like, you don't know about that stuff? Okay. What is it? The TDLR? What does that mean? What does that acronym mean? I don't know. I think that's like, I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. But like, long story short, Ariana Grande got a divorce from her husband like way back, like 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Honestly.
Yeah. And then she started dating this guy who was either wrapping up a divorce or in the middle. That's what's kind of like gray area, but was in the middle or wrapped up a divorce with his high school sweetheart
who just had a baby.
So that's where the controversy comes from, because he was just, and that's a little messy, but that's their own personal business.
Exactly.
But they co-starred in Wicked together. Love Wicked. But they co-starred. Well, technically he didn't really star in Wicked. Cynthia starred. They co-starred together. She starred, but like he plays this Bach who's a munchkin who falls in love with. Yeah, the ginger guy, the one who played as SpongeBob on Broadway. Yeah. But, like, yeah, I remember that because everyone was so quick to jump on Ariana Grande.
So quick.
And just be like, oh, never like that home wrecker. And I'm like, whoa! I was like, everybody was, like, obsessed with her in, like, 2016. And, like, when she did her whole tour for the Manchester attacks that happened at her tour. Like, she did that whole thing, and everybody loved her, and she donated money, and people were just in so much adoration for her. But the second, and that's, I think that's what downward comparison theory is they think that she is worse than them because she is a homewrecker, and she did all this, and blah, 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 and also she's rich, and I'm not, and that makes me mad. I'm going to tear down this person because I feel better than this person now, and I feel I have an edge over this person. That's actually a really good example of downward comparison theory.
Yes, and if like, here's my thing. You have someone who is a multi-billionaire, just starred in one of the biggest movies of our generation, and is racking in that money. She got nominated for Grammys, for Emmys, all that. Do you really think that one little TikTok comment of saying, who else never liked her,
is going to affect her?
Is going to affect her?
She probably didn't even read it.
Yeah.
I was like, why would you take time out of your day to comment at something negative whenever this person's already being bashed on the internet, and you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna join in on this because I'm getting FOMO for not making fun of her.
Yeah, I'm not on this bandwagon, and I feel so left out, or I don't make this much money, so I feel like I'm missing out on like so much in my life, or maybe I have weird trauma from Wicked. I don't know. Maybe I didn't get the Elphaba role in my middle school production of Wicked, and so now I'm pissy about it. Like, there's so much that people can have reasons about it, but there is no valid reason for it.
Yes. Anytime someone messes up, it's just like vultures coming to the body.
I guess that's also cancel culture as well.
Yes. And cancel culture, here's the thing. The reason for cancel culture was if someone were to do something offensive or offensive, because like home wrecking is obviously not good, but like
hashtag we don't believe in home wrecking.
We don't, and try someone else with home wrecking. But like obviously that's not good. But how is it offending you personally?
Right. It's not your home. It's being wrecked.
It's not offending you. And also, it was never confirmed. So you're taking this one little thing. Oh my God, that's something we learned in social psychology. Is it something like this, and then you make it like this?
Mm-hmm. It's like throwing a pebble into a lake, and the ripple just keeps getting larger. And it's like the smallest thing. And I'm not saying that home wrecking, even if it was home wrecking situation, I'm not saying it's like a small thing. Like,
it's not.
Don't home wreck, please.
But that's her mistake that she has to live with.
Not your mistake to keep repeating to her over and over again.
Exactly.
It's not anyone's job to do that. But that's what even if even if people personally don't mean to hark on somebody or do this, and it's like, is social comparison a slightly subconscious? Like,
yeah, I feel like people don't even know they're doing it.
Exactly. Like, it's hard to say like who's wrong, who's right in the social comparison standpoint. What's wrong and right is the expression of the. Whoa, I just burped weirdly.
That went on for a long time.
I know. I was like, but like, oh my gosh, what was I saying? I like brain burped as well. Jeez Louise.
But cancel culture, I forgot. I like started this sentence and I just stopped.
Yeah, continue.
Else. Cancel culture was made to, if someone were to do something offensive, they would then be held accountable to learn from their mistake.
Right.
And then you allow that person to re-enter the space.
Mm-hmm.
You don't bash that person where they can't learn from their mistakes.
Right.
Because that's what you want to do. If someone doesn't know what they're doing is wrong, it is up to you to teach them why that is incorrect. Or they're never going to learn, and they're just going to have a phony apology.
Right. Well, and it's also not the job of someone to teach. Like, I agree with it's the job for the space to, like, the person to be taught in the space. But I feel like
do it on your own.
Yes, it's the person's own job to teach themselves, but for the space to give them the opportunity to learn.
Yes.
So like, not like teach them themselves, but give them the opportunity to self-reflect and learn on their own. That, I believe, is what cancel culture was meant to be. And I hate the word cancel culture. I think it's so stupid. And like, I think it's just learning. I think it's just constant learning.
It is.
Everyone's gonna make mistakes. There's a YouTuber I watch too much YouTube, but there was a YouTuber I watched who made a reaction video to an ongoing drama situation going on right now. And he said something about like, I'm going to make so many mistakes in my life, and I'm going to keep making mistakes. He's like, I fully expect myself to make mistakes. But the thing is I'm going to learn from them, and I'm going to move on from them, and I'm going to atone for them, and I'm going to try my best not to make that mistake and be the example for somebody else who could make that mistake one day.
Exactly.
And that is a really good, like, I guess a good way to say that while also still working out mistakes. And I think that's what some people miss when it comes to this cancel culture, and when they try and call people out. I feel like when people call them out or like say crap about somebody else or blah 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 whatever, haven't atoned for a mistake of their own. It's like, it's just this like, I don't know, and it goes back to comparison theory. It's, you feel because this person is having a rough situation or something, or going through something, you feel above this person. You feel that this person, you have an edge over them or something. And I feel like with celebrities, though, it's also a little bit of upward comparison. Like,
yes.
they did something bad, but they're a celebrity and they have all this power and all this money and all this opportunity that you want, but they did something bad. And so now I'm going to bash that because it's the bad part, and it makes me feel better about the other stuff behind me. Like, I don't have that fame. I don't have that money. I don't have those opportunities. And it gives a gateway to let them feel better about that situation instead of, like, I don't know.
If you are sitting there bashing someone else for their mistakes, you don't have to come to terms with your own mistakes.
Right.
Yep. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. And you can express these feelings. You can express them. I mean, you can express them on the internet. I don't think you should. But that's also my expression of opinion on the internet right there. But this is why we have therapy. This is why we have close circles of friends. This is why we have research that you can do. This is why we have like books over reflection, where you can reflect on your words and your actions. And not every opinion needs to be expressed on the internet. Sometimes you feel like your opinion needs to be express that with a friend, express that with a therapist. Like, if it's a hateful one and it is awful towards something no one can control, don't express it. Keep your opinion to yourself. But if it's something that someone else can control, then you you personally, if you don't take it from the other person's perspective and you don't take it from like a standpoint of it's none of your business, yeah, you have the right to express your opinion the way you want and seek therapy and have somebody to talk to about that. But from it's a none of your gosh darn business standpoint, it's none of your gosh darn business. So don't give your opinion on it if you don't. If it does not, like you said, if you are not Ethan Slater's ex-wife, you can't say anything about Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't. It's none of your business.
None.
And if anybody actually reads about what's going on, Ethan Slater's ex-wife is being extremely mature about the situation and is like, I wish him the best. This is a hard time for me, but I have my child with me that I have to care for. I got to be a mother, and I'm just going to focus on that. That is moving on, and that is like...
Take her words of wisdom and do it for yourself.
And move on. I mean, maybe you don't have children, but move on for yourself. How about that one? And like for your future and for anything ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That just wired me up a little bit.
Yeah, it's something that I could talk about for hours, cancel culture, and how it is so, like, I don't know, like it is, and it's always women.
Yeah.
It's always women.
Yeah.
They're coming for Ariana Grande. And, like, again, I don't know her, so I'm not going to sit here and fight by her side, but it's just, like, an example I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
But they're sitting here bashing her for her looks, her talents, her everything.
Mm-hmm.
What about the man that was actually in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about him.
That blows my mind. I think it's because, but I also think it's a matter of
Her fame.
Because he's playing as Bach, a Munchkin, and Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he has a very impressive Broadway record. Like, I've known who he is for a while.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm like, okay, you know, you're pretty talented, man. But he doesn't have as much of a fame as Ariana Grande. And the person who has the most fame and the most influence is going to get the most heat.
Mm-hmm.
And like, unfortunately, sorry, Ethan Slater, if you're watching this, you don't have as much influence and power and fame as Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately. I mean, if you want that, probably shouldn't have made the choices you made today, but that's okay, you know, figure it out later. But I think it's a matter of influence. But the matter about like women always being catty with each other and like calling each other out so quickly, I am guilty of it. I am so guilty of it, and it's not a great trait of mine. But what really like gets me frustrated is when it's the main proponent of like arguments between people. It's like, oh, it's just women fighting. It's like that. Oh, and I'm not trying to get political here. This is a mental health podcast. But when men come in and are just like, oh, it's just women fighting. It's just women arguing. So the argument or the conversation has no significance because it's just women bickering. Oh my gosh. That lights a fire because it's not. Like, there are men who get all up in arms on the internet. There are. Yeah, and there are women that get all up in arms on the internet. But usually when you see, like you saw it with Ariana Grande, you see it with, I guess no, Taylor Swift is really from men.
Some women too. That's what I've seen a lot of. Is they're like, am I the only woman that doesn't like Taylor Swift?
Oh, I've seen that. Well, and I think that's actually a good example of what I'm trying to say is that like we're not saying that it's like all, it's just most of what we see. But like, oh, what's her name? Oh my gosh, what's her name? I cannot remember her name. She's like I just blanked.
She's an actress?
I don't know. I just totally lost my example that would have like made sense, and now I didn't, and now it makes me very upset. Selena Gomez. That's who it was. When she was having like, I think it was like her weight gain from an illness she had been having.
Yeah, her kidney transplant.
Yeah, her kidney transplant. I don't remember what illness it was. Was it lupus?
Yes.
Lupus?
That's why she's calling it rare beauty, because she's got a rare disease. And
Oh, that's so cute.
the thing,
So it's easier for people to open. Oh,
it's like it all has it.
Selena Gomez, I hope you're watching this. We love you. But like when she had that huge like when her and Justin Bieber broke up, oh my gosh,
Oh my
everybody
God.
was so on Justin Bieber's side because they were just like, oh, finally Justin Bieber's out there and this woman is knocked down. Let's knock her down even more because
Yes,
I want Justin
yes.
Bieber to feel better because I like Justin Bieber and she was with him and I wanted him. Yeah. And then that was the next conversation that was going on was she gained weight. Oh, I feel insecure about my own weight. And this singer is being more open about her weight gain and like her illnesses. I'm going to tear her down because it makes me feel better about myself.
Yep.
Yes.
Because they know what they're doing.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
The paparazzi and news and like media, even like, and I give myself time limits. So I'm off of social media. Like, and my boyfriend will not watch this. Maybe we'll watch this. I do keep my time limits now. I did not over the break because I was bored. Right. I now have an hour, only an hour a day on social media.
Y'all don't want to know my screen time. Y'all don't want to know my hours a day.
I needed to limit it because media, paparazzi controls how we feel. It's, oh my gosh. Not the word. Gerrymandering is the only word that's coming up. I don't know why gerrymandering is coming up. That's the term when they divide counties politically. So they'll be like better votes for a party or something. I don't know why that came up. But like controlling and like manipulating how.
Fear-mongering.
Fear-mongering. That's the word. Not gerrymandering. But fear-mongering. Like roping people, like not even just fear, but just any kind of emotion mongering. Can I just say emotion mongering?
I think so.
I think I created a new word. If it's already a word, whatever. But I created the word emotion mongering. Like just mongering people to feel a certain way is all done through media. And like that's I think that's the point I'm trying to loop back to is that social media and the internet and all of these opportunities that people are having that are outside of what like a regular old person would have is like the core root of cancel culture, comparison theory, FOMO, anything we've talked about today. That is what the core issue is social media. And there's a lot going on in the world right now. I don't know if anyone's ever read, but in Australia, they did put a ban on social media. You have to be I thought you just did.
I thought you did too. We both said
Instagram. Yep. But like, Australia banned social media for anybody under the age of 16.
Honestly, they should do that here too.
Yeah.
Like 12-year-olds bashing people.
12-year-olds bashing people. And then on the flip side, 12-year-olds getting bashed and then gaining these self-confidence issues and saying like, oh, like, and like,
12-year-olds being anorexic.
Yeah, 12-year-olds being anorexic.
Being on Omegle.
Being on Omegle. Crazy.
That is so... There's like an old... I don't even want to talk about it. We could do a whole episode on Omegle.
Yeah. Well...
They have a new one.
What? I didn't know that.
They banned Omegle because of the pornographic images.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's like a whole... I probably can't talk about that. But...
Well...
yeah, it got banned, so there's like a whole new one now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like... Sorry. Sorry, I'm congested. I forgot to take my allergy pill. Sorry, Mom, I forgot to take my allergy pill. But it's like so many of these children. It's not like people are like so many of these young people. Like I hate when in law they use young people. It is children. These
That's a minor.
That's a minor. That's a child who is getting their very, very young and malleable brain molded to think, you know, my thighs could be a little thinner, or guys, like my arms need to be bigger because if I don't, then I'm not seen as strong and as worthy of voice. 12-year-olds learning how to throw people down and learning awful slurs and awful words and awful ideologies that they should not be expressing because all it is just straight hate. Mm-hmm. And it's because of this, I need to fit in. I need to be better than the person next to me, rather than I need to embrace the person next to me and I need to be the best version of myself. Mm-hmm. And we don't, like, young people and children don't know what their best version of, they don't know how to look towards the best version of themselves. They don't know how to look towards that because all they look towards is Taylor Swift or what's a person males, Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Mr. Beast,
or like somebody like that. Like they look at these idols and they have these like great images of what they could be when they grow up or what they should be when they grow up. They should be rich. They should be jacked. Girls think they should be this image of like a supermodel. They should be very successful. They should have nice cars. They should have nice clothes. And
I think I burped to the mic. I'm sorry.
I've like chin bumped to the mic so many times. It's just not healthy. And that comparison to the comparison between what kids think they should be based on what they're being told versus what they should be based on what they want to be.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's like, and it's really weird because sometimes kids will want what they're told what they should be. But I don't think that's what kids deep down could want because they've been influenced on what they should be, if that makes sense. Like they haven't experienced what they want yet because what they want is what somebody else has wanted for them.
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad I got to that point. I just, oh my God. And I think the United States is a beautiful country and it is the country of the free people and freedom. And I think we should have the right to use whatever site we want to use to express our opinions, beliefs, and to get our entertainment. But I seriously believe there should be some form of regulation on the age limit.
Yes.
Because there are too many kids that are too young and that it's influencing them. I mean, what was that whole craze with like the 9, 10, and 11-year-olds going to Ulta?
Yeah. Ulta and Sephora.
Ulta and Sephora.
And using retinol, which is an anti-wrinkle.
Uh-huh. Because TikTok told them that that's anti-wrinkle. And that's what they're seeing online about what these 20 to 30 to 40-year-old women and even some men who do like maybe like workout routines or something are telling these young people how you can stay healthy, how you can stay fit, how you can look younger, how you can stay beautiful or whatever.
Top 10 products you need.
Yeah.
You don't need them, by the way.
You don't need them. Your face has not...
You need maybe a cleanser and a moisturizer.
Yeah, a cleanser, a moisturizer. You can use Vaseline. You can use CeraVe. That's what I use because I'm not crazy. I don't have anything crazy. I use like literally Clean and Clear face wash. Like it you don't need anything crazy. And I hate that kids are exposed to that. And because like, you know what I was exposed to when I was 12? Minecraft YouTubers. I was watching Minecraft and I was listening to Minecraft parodies. I was making fan art.
I was on Vine.
Yeah, I was on Vine. I was on Musical.ly.
Me too. Dub Smash.
And I had a private account where only my friends could see it. And we were always making funny videos. And I duetted with Selena Gomez because I thought she would see it, but it was a private account, so she wouldn't have seen it. But I didn't know that. And like I was having sleepovers and I was eating junk food and I was running around playing soccer and
watching Twilight.
Watching Twilight. I actually did watch Twilight for the first time around that age. But like I was being a kid and I was just having fun and expressing myself the way I want. And now we are cookie cuttering our kids because we're allowing them to have social media and we're allowing them to use all these adult makeup products and such. And we are allowing them to do these things that they're influenced to do.
And it's also the parents. Because they don't, like a child is a lot of work. So if they act like an adult, they're not as much work.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is.
A little. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. It's a little bit of that. I do think so. Is that kids, they are energetic and they are bundles of joy.
So you put a screen in front of them.
We should have had Dr. Miller come on for this episode. He would have, because he talked about in class today. He was like, I understand like some of you might have accommodations for like laptops or computers or something in here. But he's like, you will succeed and you will understand this text and you will understand what I am telling you with a pen and paper better than a computer. And I have so much respect for that, solely for the fact of the internet is useful. And I have professors here that do influence me very well on how to use the internet and how to use AI. Dr. Florky and Dr. Sonia are huge supporters in new technology and just furthering progress in technology and AI. And that's totally great. And I'm so glad that I've had people that can educate me in that. But Dr. Miller is so correct about how there is, I mean, for some people who can't use a pen and paper, like, yes, there are exceptions, obviously. But when it comes to pen and paper and having this honest back and forth conversation with a professor instead of having a screen that was meant to draw your attention to it, like you look at the interface of your laptops and the bottom part of the screen has a thing on the corner that has news. And like it'll say breaking news and you click it and then you'll get all these news tabs and you'll get all these articles and you'll get all this and it's drawing your attention back to it.
Yep.
And like notifications on your laptop or like if you have a MacBook, like you'll get like notifications from like text or something. Like these social media apps, all these things that are supposed to grab your attention, they're calculated to grab your attention because that's their goal. They're trying to get your attention. They're trying to influence you. They're trying to do all this. It's just, it's not good, and it's not healthy. And it can be sometimes, you could say it's very rich of me to say this because I do have social media and I do use it actively, and I do use the internet actively, and I do my research on the internet, and I use AI, and not to do my assignments. Let me rephrase that. I use AI ethically. I do research over it. I have a professor who has taught me how to ethically use it. I'm not just willy-nilly just writing my essays over it. But like, I don't know. And it just drives me up a wall. And I don't know. And I think Australia's the first country to kind of like, they're not silencing their citizens. They're not limiting their citizens. They're not doing anything like, they're not taking away their freedom. Mm. But I know so many people will see a banning in the United States, like under the age of a certain age, as a limiting of freedom and a limiting of speech. And that, I don't know, and that, like, in a way, it's true, because it is limiting the free speech, and it is limiting this as a United States citizen. From the moment you are born, you are a United States citizen, and you have the right. I was the right to remain silent. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, that's the Miranda rights, my bad. But the right of speech, and the right to assembly, and the right of religion, and the right of whatever you want to believe. Of course, like, a 2-month-old is not going to come out and be like, here's my crazy hot take, let me tell you. Like, they're not going to be like that, but you have the right to knowledge, you have the right to expression, you have all of these rights, yet we would be cutting off the rights for some of those young people and children. But it's that really weird tug of war where it's like, we want to give them the right of freedom and the right of speech and the right of whatever they want to learn and what they want to believe. But then you also have to take a step back and realize they are children, and they are still learning how to have those rights and how to handle those rights. And like, with great power comes great responsibility. These kids are learning that. And it's just a weird back and forth where you can see both sides, and you don't know where it's going to land, because it's okay. Like, I'm not okay wherever it lands, but I also am okay wherever it lands.
Yeah. Like,
I have moments where I'm okay and where I'm not okay in both.
I feel like it's the parents' faults, which, I mean, like, I obviously don't have children.
Right.
So, like,
we're not parents. We can't give parenting advice because I don't have a child. Yeah. The closest thing that any of us in this room have to a child is their 2 cats. Yep. That's the closest thing. Yep. And I know some mothers get really amped up whenever they're like, oh, well, my cat. That's an episode of The Office, by the way. But like, no, I get what you're saying. Like, if it's so hard because I don't ever want to blame a parent.
Yeah.
Who is doing their best. Exactly. And like, Sometimes there's not great parents out there. We all understand that. And to those parents, shame on you. Shame. But like, it is very sad how the government's stepping in to take care of a parenting issue. What I believe is a parenting issue. But at the same time, it also might not, I don't know, because how many of these kids that are in what's the new generation? Beta?
Alpha. Beta
started this year, but the tail end of Alpha, like, their parents are
Gen Z,
and what's the other one? Millennials are the underneath? Millennials and
I learned about this today in human development. It goes
okay, we got an expert here, guys.
Are we going back to the Civil War?
I was gonna go back to the 20s, but like, that's like hundreds and something.
Yeah. It's like the boomers.
But you have the silent age, which is mostly our grandparents.
Yeah.
The silent era. And then you have boomers, which are the younger grandparents.
Yes.
And then you have millennials. No. Gen X. Gen X, which are, again, older parents, younger grandparents. Then millennials, which are typically older siblings. And then Gen Z. And
then Alpha, and then Beta started this year. But like, you look at those age ranges, millennials and Gen Z are the parents now. That is weird to say. Our generation are parents now.
Yeah.
But like, they're parents now. What were we raised on?
Internet,
TVs, video game systems, which I love video games. I think video games are actual toys, yes, but like, we all had cell phones in high school. A lot of us did. And then these people who had these cell phones and who love technology and who are already hooked on technology are then raising children.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hooking their children on technology and saying like, here, watch this overstimulating TV show. And now you're going to then want this iPad to then watch the overstimulating TV show while I'm taking you to daycare or while I'm taking you shopping. Oh, I don't want you screaming. Here's an iPad. And like, parenting is difficult. And I salute every single parent in the United States who is doing their best and who is taking care of their kids day to day. I think you're doing a wonderful job. And thank you for raising children. It's a difficult job.
Yeah.
But there are rights and wrongs. And there's literally a Toy Story movie coming out about this. Like Toy Story 5 is about technology. That came out at D23, which is their big convention. They're making a movie about Yes. 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 It is toys versus technology. Like that is the point where we're at, where this is a plot in a children's movie. Mm-hmm. Toys like dolls and T-Rex toys and Slinky toys and action figures against iPads and against cell phones and TVs, and it's so crazy. And like people will talk about it. Like I'll hear parents at home be just like, oh, like screen time needs to be limited and blah 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 blah, and it's like, but then their kids are on iPads and their kids are hooked and their kids. And it's an addiction, and their kids don't want to go outside.
Yeah, it's literally a disorder.
Yeah.
It was just recently added to the DSM-5 gaming disorder. And it's like close to the same thing. I mean, it's in there with kleptomania, pyromania. It's in there with all those disorders.
Wow.
Yeah. It got added there because it's like such a big thing now. It's like and I'm a victim of it also. I will be watching TV, playing on my iPad, and when there's an ad on my iPad, I'm scrolling on TikTok. So and my cat also will sit there and watch my iPad.
Downloaded a game just for him.
Yes.
Aww. Yeah.
That's what I have. It was on YouTube at first, but like he kept on exiting out and biting it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just pull this up. And it's like an app. So I'm also, doing it myself. But like, I know I grew up like I had like a Leap tablet.
Yeah.
I had a DS. So I had access to internet at a young age, but I preferred Barbies and Polly Pockets and Bratz dolls.
Yeah.
I preferred that kind of stuff.
Right. I was raised very early on books, toys, and then my Uncle Tom, shout out Uncle Tom, got me a Wii. Dude, that Wii.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just Dance.
Yes, Just Dance, Mario, Firefighter Simulator. My
Wii
dad's
Sports.
a firefighter. Wii Sports. Wii Sports Resort, though.
Yes.
Guys. But, like, I think the difference, though, between that, like, the playing with toys, but also having, like, a Leap Pad or, like, an iPad with a lot of restrictions on it and an early iPad.
Something made for a child.
Yes. Is now there's so much advertising and there's so much like business psychology into the marketing psychology into the fact of social media and technology that now kids are seeing all this stuff and they're seeing like news articles and they're seeing memes, and kids seeing memes is awful. They'll see like memes about like the election period and then they'll start gaining an opinion apparently, and I'm like,
13-year-olds who can't even vote having an opinion.
Right. And like, I'm not going to say that I didn't have an opinion when I was 13. I definitely did. I had opinions, and some of them were conflicting on each other. So I definitely needed to research them further. But like, I had opinions of my own. But I think it's just, I don't know what my point was with that actually.
Don't sit here and argue with me like a voting citizen.
Yeah.
Don't sit here and argue with me whenever I'm voting for both of our rights.
But I'm going to bring it back to FOMO right there. Like, these young people are seeing these young grown-up people, like the 20 to 25-year-old range, and they're like, I want to be that. Like, I want to have this opinion.
Yes.
I want to have these adult conversations because I need to feel like I'm growing and I'm wanting to assume this new role as, like, a learner, an adult, a young adult.
Here's the opposite end of that. Us looking at children and being like, they're so lucky. They don't have anything to worry about.
Right.
No adult problems. I mean, everything is paid for. Everything's taken care of. So it's like we're looking at them and envying them, and they're looking at us, envying us. Like, where does it end?
Yeah, again, that's like back to the conversation about comparison theory. It's an infinite loop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a constant loop of just comparing and comparing and comparing and comparing. What's it called? I wanted to talk about one more topic before we closed out because that topic was very spicy. Oh my goodness, did we talk about that for an hour? Wow. Like I got a little spicy in that one. But one thing, the title of this episode is called New Year, New Me. And I did it about FOMO and just like fear of missing out and just blah, 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 whatever. Before I move on, actually, I want to talk a little bit more about imposter syndrome, actually, about in the academic sense, in the academic field. Because let me check who. My dad's calling me.
Bring 'em on.
We might have to edit this out. Hey, Dad. My first couple of days of class have been great, Dad. I'm in a podcast recording. No, do you want to say hi? We can put you in the blooper reel. You're good. Okay, well, I'll call you when I get done with this. We're about wrapped up. Okay, yeah, I'll give you a call. Love you, bye. Hater, didn't want to be on the pod.
He doesn't have FOMO.
He doesn't have FOMO at all. He's over here like not missing out on anything. Which rude, by the way. You're missing out on a lot. But like the imposter syndrome in an academic sense, I see it a lot, and I felt it a lot as a freshman honors student at a college where academic prowess is, kind of expected, and it's not even it's a very low standard. Like that's the lowest standard Lyon College has. I feel is that you will have academic prowess and you will be an exceptional student. Mm-hmm. And like I always compared myself to upperclassmen honors fellows, ones that I respected, not because I like disliked them of any kind, but it was because I wanted to be them. And then now that I have assumed a role like that, where it's like now I have underclassmen and people looking up to me, I don't feel like I've earned it or that it's something that I've earned. And I see that a lot with these like the juniors and sophomores of university. I see that a lot with the kids here in our like grades, having that feeling of just like, oh, I'm the person they now look up to. Like, I don't feel like I can be that person. Like, I don't feel like I'm well equipped to be that person for these people who are trying to be their best. I don't feel like I can do that. And that, I think that is, again, comparison is the thief of joy. Mm-hmm. And I think it takes away from the joy of being that person and accomplishing that. And like, it's kind of sad. I don't know. It really bugs me and it bothers me. It makes me sad. And I didn't know if you had any opinions on that one.
Yeah. I mean, getting into Lyon, first of all, is like an amazing, outstanding achievement, right? Because like they have such high standards, but like I was an honor student and someone that I looked up to when I first came here because it was the only person I knew. They're like, "Oh, you're not an honor student?" And I was like, I thought I was doing good just being here.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried my best to get in here in the first place. So you're knocking me, but I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, I showed up.
And I think that's a message to the Lyon students here. No matter if you're an honors student, no matter if you have a 4.0, if you have a 3.5, or you have a 3.1, or you have a 2.9, I don't care what you have. You made an incredible feat by coming to Lyon College and getting into Lyon College and sustaining yourself at Lyon College. Doesn't matter if you're a theater kid, if you're an athlete, if you're
here.
Yeah, you're here. It doesn't matter if you're a podcaster or if you work 7 jobs on campus to try and pay off your loans, or if your parents are here supporting you while you're here. It does not matter. You have all earned this and you have all worked hard for this. And like Dr. Daniels has always said in any of her classes, Lyon College students are the hardest people on themselves. Like point blank simple, we are the hardest. We are the harshest critics of our own self.
Yep.
And I wish we weren't, because we are all so brilliant. And I wish some of us, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But like, I wish it wasn't that way because I feel like a lot of maybe even social issues, but like social issues, maybe internal issues, maybe mental health issues could not be resolved. I think there will always be those issues, but could be lesser and less of an effect if we all just recognize that we did earn this. We did work hard to be here. And you do deserve to be here. And I think that's something that I've always needed to hear. And I'm glad that I can now tell myself that. But like, I know so many people that don't truly believe that about themselves. And that breaks my heart because we all like, we know how hard it is to be a Lyon student. We all know it's difficult. And even some of our faculty who are alumni know how hard it is to be a Lyon student and know the challenges and I don't know what that was. The challenges and the adversity that we come and overcome when we come here to Lyon College. And I don't know, it's comparison is the thief of oh my gosh, thief of joy. Jeez Louise, thief. But I don't know. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about was resolutions. So it's a new year. It's a new year, new me. So did you have any resolutions?
No, I stopped doing resolutions.
Did you do the grape thing?
No, I have a boyfriend, so I was like,
oh,
no
yeah,
need.
that's right. I'm sorry.
We are all taken.
Yeah, we are taken. No grapes here.
Yeah, I stopped doing New Year's resolutions last year because I saw a video, and it was like, you're going to set these standards for yourself and these goals for yourself whenever you could set them before the new year even comes around. And then whenever you don't do them, you're going to be so harsh on yourself. So just like gracefully do it. Don't say, if I don't do this resolution, I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Like, just say, I'm going to try this new thing. And if it doesn't work for me, I can try something else.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing resolutions last year because I was like, they are not good for me.
Yeah.
They were not good.
Well, what's it? I totally agree with that. I've been really harsh on myself, and like I will try and give myself these like unrealistic expectations. I'm like, you know what? We just need to be Hannah. But then I kind of thought about it right before New Year's, and I was like, why don't I set hyper specific goals for myself, like more attainable and directed goals for myself? So instead of doing like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym more, or oh, I'm gonna put more effort into my psychology podcast, or I'm going to try and serve more on like committees and boards. I was like, I am specifically wanting to do this, and I will do this, this, and this, and this to get to that. And like, I have sub goals and like everything. And I like, even if I don't get that top goal, I'm still going to achieve these sub goals.
That's a
and
good
so
idea.
I still achieve something. But like, I didn't do any research on it because I didn't think I would actually talk about it. But like, lots of people don't keep up with their resolutions.
No.
My mother is in the gym every day. And yes, every day. And if she can't get to the gym, she's working out in the gym in our garage. Because she wanted to better herself and be healthier. And she made a joke about like, the gym's going to fill up and then fall out, or like fill up and then flush out. And that's what happens every year. And it's really sad because people set these expectations for themselves, don't maintain it, and they feel worse about themselves. And they feel so bad. And then they come around to the next year.
But I'm going to be different this time.
I need to be different for myself. I need to do this. And then it's just that cycle because they don't set realistic expectations for themselves.
And because like, just going to the gym, sorry, my breath smells like I'm hungry. just going into the gym and just working out is not going to work for some people.
No.
Some people are going to need to take a spin class, you know, a yoga class and things like that. Like, you dip your toe into each one. And if you find out that nothing works, maybe it's just not for you. But you will find something that works.
Yeah.
Even if you just like swim or
I love swimming.
or if like your goal is to produce more art, but you're like, I'm not as good as this artist. Slowly start building up and dip your toe into like collaging, dip your toe into painting, drawing, you know, sculptures.
Yeah.
Because there will be something that you enjoy.
Right.
And it won't ruin the entire experience as a whole. And that's why I stopped doing resolutions, because I would do one thing and it just ruined the entire experience.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I like did nothing this year.
Right.
But I did a lot. I just didn't do that one thing.
Right. Yeah, I needed to set myself more specific goals, and I needed to be happy with those and be okay with maybe not the entirety of the thing being accomplished, but a good chunk of the progress to get there was accomplished. And I wanted to be able to recognize that while also like having like pretty organization on like pastel papers because I think it's cool. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any like announcements, like personal, professional announcements you want to talk about?
No,
No,
nothing I know of. Nothing I can think of.
Zeppelin get a new outfit or anything?
He got a new collar. For Christmas, he like really racked up. He got a new litter box.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell this story. So, if I get in trouble for this, I just gotta tell somebody. So Zeppelin got a new litter box for Christmas
Okay.
because I invested in a stainless steel one. He had plastic, and I was like, I'm gonna get stainless steel because I heard they're better for the cat's health. They're expensive though. So I threw his old one away, cleaned it out first.
Yeah.
But I just wiped it out with paper towel. I didn't like go into it because it was going in the trash.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't spray it down with anything, and there might have been some poop crumbs left in there. And then
cares?
who cares? I put it in the trash.
Yeah.
And then he gets car sick, and we were on a 3.5 hour drive.
Oh gosh.
He did number 2 in his kennel that he's in whenever he rides. And so I threw that out also because I don't need it while I'm here because he stays out.
Yeah.
And the next day, my old roommate, she sent me a picture of the litter box. Mind you, I put it in the trash room in Whiteside. The old litter box and old kennel sitting outside of Whiteside with snow piled up on it. And I was like, that like looks like he died or something. Like, that is so sad.
Yeah.
Why is his stuff sitting out there? Move-in day. She said she was walking up again. Someone had got the litter box and was sledding down a hill in it. She said she saw them inside a box. And then she was like, oh, I didn't think anything of it. And then they ran up and put it back real quick. And it was a litter box. Oh my God. They definitely had poop crumbs in their pants and their shoes.
Oh my God.
I mean, there was smeared poop in there. I mean, like, because I had the clumping cat stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, it leaves a little stain. And I wasn't going to clean it. I was just going to throw it away.
Yeah, because you don't need it. And someone sledded in it?
Someone was sliding in it. Some little kids.
Oh, kids? Like
Somebody's little brothers, little sisters.
Oh.
They were sliding in Zeppelin's poopy litter box.
Oh, if you're watching this and you sled in that box. Oh,
Being resourceful, I
embarrassing.
Watch what you're doing.
Watch, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
I was like, what a small world.
Yeah.
Someone's sledding in my cat's poopy litter box.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had to tell that story.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you know what? I would hate to be that person.
I would
hope
too.
they watch this and they're just like, what?
I mean, I don't know how they could know it's a litter box.
Yeah.
It was like, there's a top, there's a bottom, there's a kennel.
And like, you don't look in it to be like,
Oh,
that
make
looks
sure
a
it's
little
okay.
weird.
Oh, there's something smeared. Maybe I shouldn't get in this.
It's just mud.
It's just melted snow.
Yeah, it's no.
So if your little brother, little sister came back smelling weird, that's why. They were in a litter box.
They were in the litter box.
They're using it.
Zeppelin watching them slide down the hills in his litter box.
He's sitting in the window. He's just
Yes.
like, they don't know.
He's like, oh, that looks familiar.
Mm. It's like,
But yeah,
oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Zeppelin got in a litter box, and his old one had like a little adventure before it got thrown out.
It is thrown out though, right?
I have not seen it. I think they might have took it with them. I don't know. The kennel was gone too.
Oh,
They
I
both
hope
had poop in them. So.
I hope somebody, if they took it for repurposement, I hope it has been repurposed for a good kitty that has been washed thoroughly.
Yes.
Thoroughly.
Yes. The kennel is cloth, so maybe throw that one away.
Hopefully not with bleach, because bleach pneumonia.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
Dang it. I wish I had something funny to say. All I was going to say is that, like, I'm now career unsure again. so we're just sitting back in limbo, and I'm like, yeah, I'm psych and exercise science, so. Yours
Really?
is funnier than me. Yeah. I'm a double major in psych and exercise science now.
Okay.
Maybe picking up a minor. Who knows? We'll see what I have time for.
Yeah, I've been thinking about double majoring also.
Oh.
Art and psych.
Ooh, that would be fun.
My breath's like coming off this mic and I smell it. And I have not eaten in a little bit. I can smell it.
The mic can't smell it, but we can. Not we. I can't smell it. Let me rephrase that. She can.
The next prof is gonna be like,
But
Ew.
this kind of smells like hungry breath. Y'all know what I'm talking about too. When your breath starts to smell like you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need some dinner.
I am in a hanger mood. It's coming. I can feel it brewing. And I need to get home to watch the next installation of my YouTube drama that's going on because they're streaming like 5 hours worth of this drama every day. And I'm just like, I have to watch it. I need to know what's going on. If you know, you know, because FOMO. I have to see it. But if you know, you know, because what I said about that quote, if anybody knows what the situation's going on, they'll know what I'm talking about. And I'll tell you about it later. But podcast episodes will be coming out every 2 weeks. We're going to try and make kind of a regular schedule. Because us ladies, we're organized. So we got an all-woman crew. We're gonna no dig to Jason. Wait, let me go back to that one.
Or Pat.
not Graham Pat or producer Jason. No digs. Not at all. That's not what this is. We gonna get it organized. So every 2 weeks, sometime over the weekend, you'll start seeing us pattern in a schedule. We don't know what the next podcast episode is over. We'll figure that out when we get there. Maybe a co-host, maybe a guest. I don't know. Not a co-host, a guest. Maybe a guest. Yeah, we are co-host. We are the co-host. No,
Maybe I'll be here, maybe I won't.
who knows? We'll see. Maybe we're not. Neither of us are here, and it's just Pat, just sitting here and talking about his feelings. You know what? Maybe that needs to be one episode.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, how are you feeling? That's what the episode's called. How is Pat Lynch feeling right in this moment? Maybe we can like hypnotize Pat Lynch, like do like a hypnotism episode. Yeah, you will balk like a chicken for 15 minutes straight. That's just 15 minutes straight of Pat Lynch walking around like this.
He'd be faking it too.
He would be faking it too. But no, we'll keep y'all updated. Follow us on Instagram. And YouTube. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else done? Don't get imposter syndrome. You're worth it, and you're meant to be where you are. And even if you're not where you want to be, you're meant to be where you're going to be.
And limit yourself on your phone.
Yes.
And your iPad.
But on your Xbox, because video games are fun. Okay. We will see y'all later. Bye.
Yeah, and our titles that Pat gave us.
Yeah. And I got a t-shirt from Pat. All of us got t-shirts from Pat, so we all kind of feel like a little podcast family right now.
Mm-hmm.
We got to think of a name. Like, I don't know. Like the kilt kids. Yeah.
Kilted. Oh my god, it's like the Magic School Bus. And he's Miss Frizzle.
Grandpa Pat. Grandpat. Does he like watch all of these through? Like, do we know? No. I don't know. I hope he doesn't see that and he's like, so Grandpat, that's what you think of me.